Góðan daginn and welcome to the Project Pyro. My name is Gunnildur, I'm an Icelander, live in Iceland, and yeah, this is my project pile because I have projects and they are in piles. This is my podcast. I am butchering this intro, but whatever. So in this podcast I talk about yarn, talk about knitting, crocheting, anything yarn related, fiber related, whatever I'm learning. I talk about what I've cast on, what projects I'm starting on, what I'm working on, and what I've finished, and what my plans are. I also talk quite a bit about the weather because the weather affects everything, such as uploading time. I think my record was something like, was it about 48 hours trying to get one very short video compared to these podcasts. I think it was like relatively short. I think it was like 10 minutes. 10-minute video. It took me about 48 hours to upload it. That was insane. So hello. And also for the past I think it's like 2 months now. Yeah, about. I've also been talking quite a little bit about the current volcanic eruption that is outside of our capital, Reykjavik. I am on the east coast of Iceland, so I am a few hundred kilometers away. I am pretty much on the, yeah, I'm on the opposite side of the island, so I'm safe, I'm good. So this little surprise eruption that no one was expecting because there wasn't a volcano there before. Suddenly there's just fissure and like boop, quietly, mind you. It didn't show up on like any of their equipment, which happens. It happens with volcanoes and eruptions sometimes. This time I think it was like the same thing with the last eruption. Basically, people just phone in and say, hey, do you reckon there's an eruption starting? Because I can see lights over there and I'm thinking I'm hearing some sound. So, for the past, I don't know how many eruptions, it's been, people just call in. It's collaborative effort in paying attention to what's happening on our island. And the newest report I can give you is that they built like walls or dams to try and see if they could like stem the flow of the lava, or at least hold it back a little bit, because there aren't any towns, there aren't any buildings, there aren't any like huge infrastructure around this eruption. But there is a very important road that is a lifeline for people who live on the peninsula, and they kind of need to use this road, and that road is potentially at risk at going onto lava. So they were doing this experiment. I was trying to see if they could like stem the flow, and the lava went it busted the dam yesterday, last night I think, and flowing down. Actually, listen, there are so many things that are interesting about this eruption, and first off, it's like it is fairly small. Like I've said before, it's a fairly small, weak eruption. Still eruption, so it's always dangerous, danger, Will Robinson, danger. But the thing I absolutely love about it is that the main valley that this eruption is, taking place. It has a name, I think. I'm not really sure because there is trying to remember it now. The valleys that they have been talking about the most, I mean, it's in no, I can't remember. One of the valleys is called Meridali. Meri is a mare, so obviously they have been keeping like horses there. I can't remember. I can't remember. I will put it down below what the other name is. And the risk is that the lava is streaming towards an area that's called Nátthagi, or like night field. So obviously it has been throughout these centuries an area where they would kept their animals overnight, you know, on the woods. But the valley that they keep mentioning, they call it Nafnleysidalur, the nameless or no name valley, and I just love it. Because here's the thing. We have been here over 1100 years, we're well over millennia, which in the grand scheme of things in like Europe, no time at all. And you know, we are a micronation. We are also really fond of naming everything. Everything. Like well, I can't see it now because it's foggy and rainy, but I can tell you, and I could probably find a book somewhere in my home because we have a bit of nerds here. Every single noteworthy rock, or even not noteworthy rock, every single field or small piece of grass, every valley, every peak, anything. Everything here in Iceland is named. We name everything. So the fact that there's a valley that is literally named no name, it just, is that a name? Is there a joke there? Does it generally not have a name? But I'm pretty certain that's his name. But yeah, still fairly, you know, reasonably quiet, considering. But yeah, and like we said before, we don't know how long it's gonna last, this eruption, because, you know, nature doesn't really hand you a schedule saying, here you go, this is how long we're gonna have this eruption. Sweetie, thank you. No, nature does not follow like any kind of schedule. Like, we do not get like a schedule handed to us. And listen, my mother is in the living room with a friend of hers. Her friend is a bit funny. They are about the same age. Like, I think the friend is like 3 years or so younger than my mother, but you could swear that woman was older. But anyway, she's a bit I don't want to say special, but she definitely raises your eyebrows, because you sometimes wonder if there's anything very substantiable between her ears. Like, she's such a sweet, lovely woman. I mean, she does make a lot of mistakes, and she really talks people without thinking, but she means well. But sometimes you just have to wonder, do we live on the same planet? She's lived here her whole life. Like, I mean, in other parts of Iceland, but, you know, she's lived in Iceland her entire life. But she doesn't seem to know anything about Iceland, or anything Icelandic, which is really weird. But there you go. So currently my mother has her over, and they are in the living room. They are actually watching one of my DVDs that I got from BBC. And it's called Earth, the Power of the Plant. I've been trying to find like a trailer or something on YouTube. I found something, but not quite what I was looking for. And the reason that we really love this program is not just because the BBC is really good at making these programs about nature. It is also narrated by a Scottish guy. I say Scottish guy, he's a professor, but I just love his accent, like his Scottish accents, especially when he's trying to pronounce Thingvelli. Thingvelli, I love it. Just sounding bad. But the main thing about this program is that I think in the first episode they are talking about volcanoes and you know, just the power of the planet. And the thing that I absolutely love about this program is that they talk a lot. You know, the example that they really use is here in Iceland, because, you know, we are Iceland is a very, very active. You know, there are frequent eruptions here, so it's a very good area for studying. You know everything with the volcanoes and all the thing. But the thing that absolutely makes me fall in love with this program, so that I can always watch it again and again, is that there is segment where they are talking about how Iceland was formed, and they show like a computer generated image of the plume that fuels the formation of Iceland, and it's just like, I'm not gonna lie, feels, for me as an Icelander, it feels a lot like seeing ultrasound pictures of you know, like my cousin's unborn child. Is like it feels silly talking about it like that, but generally it feels like I'm literally seeing into the womb of the planet, and that's just, there's Iceland forming. I'm in love with my country, okay. I would just keep it together. Because I also feel, listen, I feel conflicted. I feel a little bit silly talking about it like that because I always get teary-eyed because I'm emotional. But at the same time, I feel giddy because I have an opportunity to just gush about how much I love my island. I love Iceland. I love it when it rains. I love it when it's foggy. I love it when it snows. Some days, like when it's thrown out, it's like, can we please change the weather channel? I love the volcanoes because they are forming this island that I love. I'm in love with my home countries, and I feel so lucky that I can be in love with my own countries. Like, I'm grateful. So let's change the subject before I start babbling about, like, you know, the sun over the horizon, or when it sparkles over the glaciers, or when you walk along like a green field and you just look over the mountains, or when you are driving around in the countryside and you just in the spring and you look to you know, to the side and you see newborn lambs just jumping around. Or like the last week, listen, guess what I saw? I think it was on Wednesday morning. I was late to work. I was forgiven when I gave explanation for why. So the breathe. The thing that I saw on Wednesday morning, I was like, listen, thank you. My day cannot possibly get bad from now on because I saw a whale just in my fjord, just like well within viewing distance from me. I think it is, you know, in Iceland it's called Hrefna. I think it's called minke whale in English, and just I love whales. Like the week before, today is the 23rd of May, so I'm gonna use diary. It's the 23rd of May 2021 today, which means that I saw the minke whale on the 19th, and it was in the week before. Yeah. And like the week or 2 weeks before that, I was seeing like a pair of nisur. I think it's like harbor whales. Like they're so small and cute, and like you just see like ba-doo, ba-doo, and they're so cute and they're so fast and they're just cute. And then you have like the minke whale, and it's just, listen, the harbor whales, they're like small. It's like a bit like dolphins, but like the back and the fin is a little bit different. But then you see like the minke whale, and it's so much bigger with like a straight back, and then a tiny back fin. It's like, oh, so cool. I love whales. I love them. And that's the thing that about, I was going to start talking about something else, and now I'm like gushing over Iceland again, but this makes me really appreciate of the fact that I was born and I live in the place where I live, because I get to see this. Literally walking to my work is like, grateful, I am grateful, but I need something to drink. So, yes. Did I make you enemies? Anyway. What else was I going to talk about? I was going to make this short also, but you know, I started gushing about my country. I'm like, keep gushing. Also, last night we had the Eurovision Song Contest. I was hoping that we would be in like the top 10. That would be really cool. No, unfortunately, our contestants they couldn't compete properly because there's unfortunately there was an outbreak of COVID on the hotel that they were staying at, and 2 of their members unfortunately got sick, and I really hope that they don't get too seriously sick. Like, COVID kind of scares me. So the team they couldn't compete. They used like they had the option of using a recording from like an exercise. You know that they do the thing of testing, both the choreography and the singing and the equipment and just getting everything together so that everything is ready for the big night, because Eurovision big. So fortunately they had a recording of this like test, and they decided to use that because they had to quarantine and isolate and all that. So I was hoping for like top, you know, somewhere in the top 10. We had 4th. Like, we were 4th. That's literally, that is definitely more than I was hoping for. So yay. And also Italy won. Really cool group. So that's kind of why I didn't record. I was gonna film yesterday, but I was just absolutely not feeling it, and you know how it is when maybe if you have a brain like me, but if there's something that you're waiting to do, just the fact that you're waiting to do that thing, you're kind of incapable of doing anything else, which I'm given to understand is a symptom of like ADHD, but also like anxiety. I have anxiety, but I don't know about ADHD. I haven't been diagnosed, but meh. Anyway, focus. So, I finished my last, holding it upside down, but I finished my last crochet shawl made from the Fantasia from Iceland. So, I love them. Ugh. It's gorgeous. And it definitely turned out a lot better than I was expecting. Like, grey kind of hasn't been my most favorite color, like greys and browns. In clothing items, I've been rather like ambivalent about, like, but these two together, just really, really pretty together. I like it. Turned out a lot better than I was expecting. So yay! And then finish this on Monday night, so I'm feeling a little bit like, know what I'm gonna do. So I did start another show, which means that I did not touch my wish show or any of the other projects that I do have in piles, because I really, really, really wanted to get started on the Virus Shawl. So I started on the Ice Yarns Cotton Fine. Here we go. And this absolutely lovely, lovely color. So this is how much I've got done. I finished the white that was in the center, and I'm starting on the like candy cane part. It reminds me of candy cane. So the pattern I'm using, I got from off of Hobbii. There are a lot of like tutorials and patterns for Virus Shawl, but I decided on the Hobbii because well, it was there and it's free to download. It's also a lot easier for me to follow patterns when they're just in front of me, because my mind will just be, it will be here and then it will be there and then there and then there, and then I'll get back a little sidestep to where I was originally. Like, that's just my brain. So it's a lot easier for me to have a medium where I can very easily get back to the same point. So, you know, written down patterns really help. But the Hobbii is really good because they have pictures. They have a first half that has, you know, just a breakdown of the pattern with pictures and you know, very simplified how they write it down. And then the second half is more detailed with more pictures and just the, like, they have a needle to point out exactly where you put your stitch, which is very helpful when you know, when it's really easy to just misunderstand very simple information and make mistakes that would be really easy to not make, because your brain just goes boom 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 boom, and supposed to go here. But yeah, this is how much I got done. I did start on, I think on Tuesday. No, I think I started on Monday evening, like just the first cast on. Which honestly I'm rather. No, didn't I finish this on Sunday and then start this, because I really feel like the last time I worked on this was on Wednesday, because Thursday and Friday I did not have brain cells after work. Tuesday, yeah, I think I started on Sunday. Anyway, it's on my Ravelry can tell me. But I had to frog one of the rows because I was, I think, around here somewhere when I realized that, yeah, somewhere around here. Because I realized that I made a mistake. I made, like, here you're supposed to have like 20 of this double crochet. Somehow I ended up with 19. I could not figure out how I'd done that, so I had to like unravel back about a round and a half and redo that. And yeah, that was on Tuesday. I had to, no, yeah, I had to I'm going backwards with words. I had to pull back on Tuesday and then finish that round again, and then I just put it to the side because I did not have the brain cells to focus on it. I was just too tired and my eyes were actually starting to burn. So yeah, alright, yeah, I know what, like, this is absolutely not important, I know, just so on Wednesday I finished the round that I was originally working on, and then I did this round with the little bowy things, and then I just put it to the side and haven't touched it since Wednesday. Yay! But all in all, this is a lot easier than I was kind of expecting. Like, I know it's not perfect. This is my very first Virus Shawl, so I have given myself permission that the very first time I do something, I'm allowed to make mistakes. It's allowed to not be perfect, which is a very freeing mindset to make a habit of having. Like, it does take a little bit of work sometimes because I do feel the need to do everything perfectly, and then I decided you don't need to do perfect. Life is not perfect, therefore you do not need to be perfect. So yeah, yay! Got this much done of my writer self. So I got this this cake to do. This has about 600 meters, and I'm thinking, because I do quite like it, that I'm maybe gonna do. I'm definitely gonna make this also a Virus Shawl because I want this. I want this as my summer shawl, one of my summer shawls. I do have the pink. Anyway, so this is my dahlia that I got from Hobbii. It is also 100% cotton, just like the. No, wait, Okay, this is 100% cotton, and the cotton cake fine is 50% cotton and 50% acrylic, so it's a little bit softer. But these colors are gonna be gorgeous in a Virus Shawl. Like, because this one in the center, it does look like a light gray, but in this lighting, it has touch of like pink in it. So it's a very warm type of gray. I like it. But these cakes are 800 meters, so it's gonna be a little bit longer. So that has been me this week. I've been. Oh, actually, I was gonna show you. So, I do have a lot of yarn. Like, if you go over my unboxing haul videos, you will notice that I do have quite a bit of yarn. It makes me happy. And so I don't need more yarn. I do keep buying more yarn because I keep thinking, oh well, that might actually make a good gift for a crafter, like the crafters in my family. And yeah, so technically I don't need more yarn. However, I am a bit of a yarn magnet, it seems, because recently my mother was going through her own yarn stash because she hasn't really been knitting and she hasn't been doing a portion of things that she was intending to do, and she's basically just lost interest. But she does have like yarn that I don't need because I've got my own and I've got more than enough to do. But she has like her sister-in-law, the sister-in-law that I gave the shawl to, she does a lot of knitting for charity work, I believe. And my mother also has another friend who does a lot of knitting herself, both for her family and also for charity. So my mother decided to go through her own collection and find her Icelandic wools. Her like Álafoslopi, Kamgar. I do know that she also has plötulopi or plaited wool. She hasn't given that away, but as she was going through her yarns, she did find a very interesting yarn that she didn't like. She had a plan for it originally, but has never done anything with it. So I got it. Look at it. It's got these like paljetter. I have no idea what you call them in English. Paljetter. These things, and it is really, really fine. It's basically just this thread, and I'm not gonna lie, I turned in a bit of a magpie when I saw it, and I'm like, oh, pretty. And then I remembered I actually do have yarn that I could combine it with. So I've had this for definitely 2 years, and it's from Ice Yarns. It was on their winter sale page, and when you look at it, it's like, ooh, that might be mohair or some nice fuzzy natural yarn. It isn't. This is 90% acrylic and 10% polyamide in the cream color. But when you look at it, I'm like, oh, that must be like mohair or something. No, it's 100% man-made, and it's fine and fuzzy, bit hard, but wash it. But that is kind of, in my experience, that's kind of like the best thing about natural yarns is, yes, they can be fuzzy and a little, a little bit tricky at times, but they have this softness. And yeah, but that's a discussion for another time. The thing that I was interested in is that I can definitely combine these. Dang it. Yeah. And like make a scarf. You know, like a long, well, as long as I can get from this. I have no idea how much yarn is on this. We'll just have to wing it and see. These 30 grams balls, they have about 150 meters, so no, that's about 1 me. Yeah, I'm 163 centimeters, or about 5 feet 4, I think it is. So 150 meters. I can't imagine that this is a lot longer. Like, I have no idea. We'll see. But like these two held together, and to make a maybe like a nice either lattice or lacy type of just scarf. It wouldn't have to be very white either. Could be like, yeah, maybe about the length of my hand, and just could be really pretty. It'd also be a real nice gift too. So that is an idea. So yeah, I have a finished object, which is my last Fantasia shawl. I have a work in progress, which is this Virus Shawl made from ice yarns. I can't remember if that's also discontinued yarn. Dang it, I only have discontinued. And then this yarn that I got from my mother from her stash, and this yarn from ice yarns that is probably discontinued as well. I am making such a good progress, like 2 years old, probably about 2 years old. I have no idea about the cake either. But you know, I'm in the spirit to do it right now, so hey. So yeah, that should be me this weekend. I hope you are doing well. Spring is, well, currently spring is like a lot of rain, but I'm happy about it because that means it's no longer snowing. So hopefully next weekend we will be having a heat wave and I will be complaining about being too warm. Looking forward to it. So thank you for watching me this weekend, and I will see you next time. Okay, bless bless.